those of you, if you want to help out that way and get a little something back in return to help promote the channel, it's greatly appreciated. Appreciate all of you being here. Let's take a look, everybody. Here's the clip. And I have to edit around some of the words because you can't use certain words on here. And of course they use Jeffrey Epp, somebody who was exposed long before this whole PSYOP came out with him. He was exposed a long time ago for being one of the people involved, you know, in doing all of these disgusting acts with children. But just take a look at this clip. It's unbelievable how they get away with this stuff.
This is a fact. We are all being controlled by an elite, wealthy, and privileged few. Why do the elites want children from traffickers? Adrenochrome. It is harvested from children for a euphoric and life-enhancing benefit. This satanic cabal of Hollywood and political elites all need the adrenochrome to maintain their positions of power. And they will continue to do so until we stand up against them.
Oh, how funny, right? You see how they desensitize people because they sensationalize this stuff? First of all, nobody should be laughing at the notion of anything along those lines involving children. But what they do is they make it seem so out of the realm of human possibility that anyone would do anything like that. And they make it seem so sensationalized from the standpoint of, like, you know, Hillary Clinton is going to pizza places like Domino's and underground. She's doing this with children, and all the Democrats are, and the liberal. No one's ever said that. When Pizzagate was exposed, this channel was one of the main channels, if not the biggest channel, that exposed it at the time. Not Jones, not anybody else, this channel, with over 500,000 subscribers, even then on my other channel, which hasn't grown since. What a surprise, which is years ago. And many of us were working and doing all of the work as far as, you know, looking at the stores next door and the symbols and the signs and the tiles and the Mason, you know, the Masonic places and the art galleries and Alifantes, all the connections to all that stuff. That's what really started all this stuff. And people go, well, that whole thing was, they created that so they could start censoring us. I fully believe the opposite. I believe that they didn't expect anyone to ever find any of that. And ever since, they've been so butthurt, they can't stop talking about it. And that's exactly what you see here. Adrenochrome, chrome, okay, is a chemical compound. These people are obsessed with it. It is produced by the oxidation of adrenaline. What they do is they put children through these traumatic acts before they do rituals on them and sacrifice. And then, of course, the adrenochrome is what they choose to devour. It's almost like a high. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. If you've seen my videos on it, I've covered it many times. You know, if you've seen it, Johnny Depp, you know, he just, it's unbelievable, right? They, you know, show him getting high and tripping off of it. Everybody thinks it's funny and a big ha-ha thing. This is what they really do. This is one of the reasons that they use children. But another reason, of course, is Crowley and how important children are in black magic rituals. But let me just get into some of this other stuff here, because the whole episode was focused around conspiracy theorists and spreading misinfo, okay, about the Jabiru, which is what they're most concerned about. So they continue to do stuff like this and get these popular shows with a younger audience to watch it, laugh at it, and then say, yeah, you know, I might have heard something about it and had thoughts that maybe I wouldn't get it, but, you know, South Park's right, those people are crazy. That's the whole purpose of it. Right? They don't even know what they're putting in their body, and they're letting our big brother put it in them. But if we told them we were putting crack in them, they would be like, no, I don't want that in me. No. But because it's Big Brother, they just go, yeah, I trust him. So one of the main antagonists in the show was called Tutornon, which was based off of Q. And their school-age spawns, little cuties, a nod to Q. Throughout the episode, their goal was to spread misinfo throughout the entire town about, quote-unquote, the elite, even if that information deters people from getting the jab. Okay? So that's the plot of the show. And then, of course, they, you know, talk about depression, right? They kind of mock, you know, everyone's depressed and all the stuff that's going on, which has a lot to do with 5G. It has a lot to do with the enhancement of the chemtrailing and everything else, the lack of, wearing the mask, the lack of oxygen, and sucking in CO2. I mean, it's just, none of it is healthy for anyone. Anyone out there that thinks it is just full of crap, or they've convinced themselves because they're so naive and they want everything to be okay because they're pansies, which is pretty much what most people have done, the soft cupcakes that live in this world. They make fun of it. So they make fun of the fact that, people are depressed. And then, of course, the whole episode ends with everybody in the town ends up getting the jab. At the conclusion of the episode, all the adults get the jab thanks to a special delivery by guess who? Air is Bagelville. Air is L, bringing enough of the jab for every idiot in town, I should say. And, of course, it's them who bring it, of course, because it is provided by them. So there's a lot of truth in that. All the adults take turns injecting each other with this seemingly mana from heaven. And the crowd immediately bursts and dances and celebrates as everybody is just thrilled that they have the jabberoo. And that's really the whole point of it. The whole point is not just to mock us, it's to desensitize people, but it shows you how on the radar we all are and how obsessed they are with us. They will not stop talking about conspiracies, even though there's such a small portion of us, because they're afraid that it's going to open a huge rabbit hole. And they were scared to death with the whole pizza thing. And they're scared now. And they want to keep convincing people to go get their jab, go get their jab, go get their jab. And they've created Q to be the laughable loser movement, because they make, you get all these people who get interviewed on TV who are a part of it, who just look like complete imbeciles. They talk like imbeciles. They act like imbeciles. They go out there, they stick a mic in their face like, Trump's going to be back in March 4th or whatever. You probably guarantee it. Oh, and now it's a new date and another new date, right? And everyone sees it. They roll their eyes. They think we're all nuts. They don't even just think of the basics of all this stuff. Even the people who have gotten the jab are still required to wear masks. I know the CDC's come out with new guidelines where they're saying, we're going to ease restrictions on those types of things. But the whole purpose should be, look, you get it if you want, you get it if you don't. And especially since they always tell us your body, your choice, right? But get it if you want, get it if you don't. But if somebody has it, they shouldn't have to worry about someone like me who doesn't want it getting them ill because they have it, so they're immune. But what they'll, of course, say is, there's a 1% chance that maybe they could get it. So they're, you're being selfish. You need to put the chemical in you too. Look, I'm fine. Give me a break. So this is South Park. Of course, they are all constantly making light of all of these serious things that are going on in our world. And it's because they're afraid. And the only thing they can use is comedy and deflection. And that's exactly what you see here on South Park. I want to remind everyone again, one more time, please consider becoming a Patreon if you're not to this channel. It'll go a long way. There's about 500 Patrons, I'd say, or 4 something at the time of this video, 490 something. Not a lot for, channel has 500,000 subs on 2 channels, and this channel, which has a lot, and I get it. But if you can, please consider becoming one. If you haven't checked out the website, please consider doing so. And again, you can share your videos, your channel, and anything you want over there, as long as it's obviously related, you know what I mean as far as anything you want. But, within reason, obviously. And check out the Teespring store again. And for those of you who just thumbs up the video, it goes a long way. Watching the ads goes a long way. So thank you guys again. Please share this video. Make other people aware of why they do this, why they deflect, why they use comedy and humor, why people like Colbert and all these late show hosts constantly talking about conspiracies now. If we're all so crazy, why are you so obsessed? Because it's funny to talk about it. Yeah, it's real funny to talk about, doing this stuff to children and, drinking their blood. I mean, it's so sick to even think about, let alone joke about. And they joke about